What I wanted to do today, I mean, first of all, new camera. I don't know if you can tell. Hopefully you can tell. But decided to upgrade my equipment from doing YouTube videos daily anyway. Interviewing people in industry at E3 for Indiecade. Documenting IGDA's Los Angeles Career Fair for the board of LA that I'm on, etc. Decided I should use some slightly better camera gear. So, got that. Now, of course, the past couple days videos, I was talking about teamwork in various ways. And something that kind of led me to reflect on is the extent to which I really like talking about and helping others be more successful in collaborating. When I think about the value or the professional focus I've had in my career, my first go-tos are typically programming, which of course my video courses on Udemy, Code Your First Game and How to Program Games, combined used by 180,000-ish people by now maybe. Those of course about programming, and of course game development, which all through my clubs, Game Creation Society at Carnegie Mellon in 2004, VGDev at Georgia Tech 2010, Game Keto Club, which started as LA Game Devs in 2015, all three still going. Those, I thought of those as being game development clubs. But what I realized is a lot of what we really learned in the process and what I've enjoyed in the process has been collaboration, helping people be more effective in their teams. They're planning around it, working together, the mindsets, the attitudes, the basic processes that make it easier for people to work together more successfully, to get more out of themselves, to help their peers achieve their potential. And that also it's an area I realize is kind of in high demand in terms of not even necessarily just for businesses, but really for people out there. A lot of where I see people struggling early on isn't so much anymore these days where to put a semicolon. They can find tutorials for how to program. It's that they are trying and failing very badly at forming teams, that they're having a hard time getting people to work together. They're having a hard time defining a vision in a way that is appropriately clear enough to get people on board, but flexible enough to get people excited about being able to contribute and see themselves as part of it. And what I realized is that I really like speaking more about that topic. So I'll be exploring in the next, I don't know how many videos. Might be a whole series of them, might be a few before I peter out and decide to pivot in other directions. But I'm really a big believer, as you know, rapid prototyper, that when we experiment a bunch, when we make a lot of different things, the purpose of that is not to make a ton of different things for its own sake. It's to figure out from that where and how to stop experimenting for a while. So, I mean, it's like the example I think back to is when I was a young kid. I mean, I haven't had dairy ice cream in 17 years. When I was a young kid at Baskin-Robbins, part of Baskin-Robbins brand was just how many flavors of ice cream they had carried at any given time. And, I've kind of fell into a habit very early on of whatever one or two kinds I had tried. At first, as a little kid, I kept getting those every time we'd go. And my mom made the argument, you should broaden your horizons, try other things. And so, fair point, I tried other things. But for a while, I made the mistaken impression that just trying other things for its own sake was somehow of merit. The thing to do. The best way to go about it. Until I realized that, no, I mean, the real point, once I had tried a bunch of them, was to figure out, here's the one I kind of want every time I go. It's not like we went every single day. It was rare enough that it was still kind of the one I liked. And so I think the same kind of sense here, when I've been doing these experiments now for hundreds of videos, with a break in the middle, but a solid year, and then many more dailies since, I've really been kind of exploring what is it that I want to do more with, that I want to take further. And I think teamwork and collaboration, some angle on that, when I start thinking about that, I really get more excited about the amount of topics connected to it, the amount of things to be said, the amount of potential I think that has to help folks, not just in programming or game development, but definitely in all kinds of other areas of life, professionally, personally, academically. So many other things that we do in our lives require some form of more effective collaboration. So I'll be exploring that a bit in the time ahead. But video tomorrow will not be more teamwork stuff. It's actually going to be of my favorite tree in Pacifica. This is, I'm trying to shine it so you can see the, Friends. Framed picture of me with my tree that I like 10 years ago, early in my career. I just started my first game development training company down the hill from it, in a small office next to an aerobics workout and laundromat. And that tree was up the hill from it. This was an important phase of my life. It's also, therefore, up the hill, too, from where I got my wrist tattoos done. And also, later, some of my other marks. But it was a place where I found I could just sit, rest, relax, think, and I wanted to share that with y'all. Now, I will say, of course, that's 50 minutes of silent footage that I filmed back in March when I was out there for GDC last time. And it's silent because I use it actually as my desktop wallpaper. I've got an app on my Mac that I just have looping a silent video as my desktop, and it's that 50-minute video of some different shots of the tree and the cliff and the ocean and these areas kind of right next to where I used to live. Thought I'd share that. Obviously, if you prefer background audio, feel free to open up in another tab, audio, nature sounds, playlist you like. I just find it relaxing. I find it restful. I find it's meditative. I find it peaceful, calming. It's nice. Anyway, that'll be the video for tomorrow. So that'll buy me a little extra time while I, as part of doubling down on going this teamwork, collaboration direction, I'm going to start experimenting a little more with a little less blank, default, neutral, empty thumbnails. Part of the experiment for that, right, is thumbnails affect what people click on, affect what people share, affect what people, how they convert. And I really wanted to remove that as a factor. I wasn't worried about getting the maximum hits on these other videos in the previous run. I was worried about really getting a neutral sort of ground to test these on. And so that makes sure that what I'm getting feedback on in terms of relative spikes is on the topics that appeal to people and not because I picked a nice picture that day. So, but now that I've kind of picked a topic I want to focus on for a little bit, I'm probably going to explore what to do with that thumbnail a little more actively. Starting with today, but I may not stick to this particular one. It's just kind of the first experiment as I get back into that. Anyhow, so I won't see you tomorrow. That'll be the tree video, but I'll see you the day after that. Thanks for being here.